Hi Stampers, this is Dawn and today we're going to make this beautiful Thinking of You card. I got this card from Devette Miller and she had sent me this as a thank you note and I fell in love with it, so I decided to use her card as one of my make and takes for my stamp club this last Saturday. Isn't it beautiful? So I did change it up just slightly. I added a piece of Whisper White behind the fresh fig. And then also here's the inside. I'm going to show you how we did that, which was also Devette's idea here. So cute. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's start with the measurements. We have the Pear Pizzazz, and this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then a piece of Whisper White for the inside. This piece is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then another piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And that's going to layer behind the fresh fig, which is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So then this layer here, I went ahead and did some die cutting beforehand just to save some time on my video, but I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So this is the Floral Romance designer paper, and this is the vellum piece. It's so beautiful. But when you layer it over top of the Whisper White, it really pops. So these are both cut out with the rectangle framelits, and we're still going to cut out another rectangle with the Pear Pizzazz. So I'm going to grab my Big Shot, and we're going to do that. And then also we're going to do some stamping. So let's grab our stamps and another piece of Whisper White. Okay, so this is the stamp set we're using. It's Wonderful Romance. We're going to use this Thinking of You. And then also this is the branch, and then also the little polka dots that we're going to stamp for the inside of the card right here. And this is also available in a bundle with the Wonderful Floral Framelits. You can buy these together in a bundle and save 10%. And these are in the Occasions catalog right now. So we're going to grab a piece of Whisper White and we're going to use the Fresh Fig Classic ink. We're going to stamp the Thinking of You. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and grab our Big Shot. Okay, so I'm going to be using my Big Shot platform. Let me grab my thin die adapter. I'm using the framelits. We need that thin die adapter. All right, so we're going to be using the rectangle framelits. We're going to use the third one from the largest for the Pear Pizzazz, and then this one's going to cut out the Thinking of You. So let's cut out that first. Okay, so I have a piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock. We're going to cut out the rectangle. Okay, and since we cut this out, we're going to cut out the center with the leaves. Let me show you that. Okay, so these are the Wonderful Floral Framelits. We're going to cut out 2 of the leaves, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this Pear Pizzazz since it's going to be covered up anyway. Nobody's going to even see that. So you're going to need 2 of them. Okay, there's the one. Let's cut out the second one. Okay, so I went ahead and cut out the flowers. Let me show you that. So I went ahead and cut out the fresh fig, the little branches from that, which look like this. You're going to need 2 of those. And then the flower, let me show you the framelits that we used for that. This is the Lovely Flower Framelits, and we're going to use this little cluster of flowers, and there's actually 4 flowers in this framelit, and you're going to use all 4 of the flowers. And I used the Petal Pink for that, which you can see here that I cut those out with this. And this is also available in a bundle with the Forever Lovely stamp set. And you can purchase these and save 10%. And these are also available in the Occasions catalog right now. Okay, so next we're going to do some embossing. I'm going to remove my thin die adapter. We're going to grab the Lace Dynamic Embossing Folder. This is one of those thick ones. So we're going to go ahead and add our Fresh Fig cardstock to the insert of the folder. And so we're using the Big Shot platform, the embossing folder with the cardstock, and 1 acrylic plate. And we're going to run that through the Big Shot. This is so beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? All that detail. So beautiful. All right, so now we're done with the Big Shots. Let's go ahead and move that. Okay, so let's bring in our pieces. Let me put this here in my metal cup before I lose that little framelit. So there's our pieces. Now let's go ahead and put all our layers together. Let me grab some snail. So now with this vellum piece of paper, you're going to notice that there's a back and a front. The front side is just slightly more vivid or bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this over and I'm going to put a snail on the back side of where the flowers are, just randomly. And it's going to camouflage the snail so it doesn't show through the vellum. We're going to take our Whisper White rectangle framelit that we cut out with the same one as we did with the Pear Pizzazz. Let me give you the measurement here. This is the 3 by 4 3/8 size rectangle framelit. Okay, and they're all the same. The Whisper White, the vellum, and then also the Pear Pizzazz. All right, so let's go ahead and layer our fresh fig onto the Whisper White base. We're going to go ahead and layer our Pear Pizzazz piece down. Now you're going to layer this kind of crooked. And I'm going to layer it like this. Just slightly off to the side, just kind of tilted. And then this piece is going to layer straight onto the card, just like that. Okay, now we're going to build up our front little pieces here. So we're going to take our Thinking of You and we're going to add some dimensionals to the back side of that. I'm going to put this in the center. Then we're going to layer our leaves and our little fresh fig, and then our flowers are going to get popped up on mini glue dots, but I'm just going to use snail for the branches in the fresh fig. You're just going to layer this behind the Thinking of You. Okay, and then we're going to take our little mini glue dots. We're going to add the mini glue dots to the back side of the flowers. I'm going to use my paper piercing tool to grab the glue dot and then pick up the flowers. Use one of the sizes of each, so a large one and then a small one to the top left, and then a large one and a small one to the bottom right. This would really be a really beautiful sympathy card as well, or a wedding card. It just looks so delicate. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, and then we're going to add some clear rhinestones, the smaller size, to the flowers. So let me go ahead and do that. So beautiful. All right, now let's go ahead and stamp the inside of the card. So I have the Whisper White. Remember, this is the 4 by 5 1/4, and this is the stamp set I'm using for the frame, and this is the swirly frame stamp set. You get all these shapes, but we're going to use the rectangle to kind of keep with the theme of the front of the card. Okay, so we're going to use the Pear Pizzazz. Now this time I'm going to ink the stamp with full ink, but then I'm going to stamp off. So I'm going to grab some scrap paper. Hold on a second. Okay, so we're going to ink up this rectangle stamp. Ink it up really good. And then we're going to stamp off. And this is just going to lighten the shade of the Pear Pizzazz so it's not so bright for the inside. And then we're just going to go ahead and stamp this in the center. Just like that. Then we're going to bring in the fresh fig again, the classic ink. And we're going to stamp the little branch that's in the same stamp set, the Wonderful Romance. I'm going to stamp this off to the right, and then one on the top left. And then the little polka dots that coordinate with this branch, you're going to stamp it twice on each of the branches. So beautiful. Now before you stamp the fresh fig, I would have, like I told my ladies, you can take your Wink of Stella and just highlight the Pear Pizzazz frame. But you want to be careful with the fresh fig because that will bleed. And you don't want to smear that into the pear pizzazz. So I just went around the frame, but you might want to do that before you actually stamp it with the fresh fig. And then I'm going to bring in my finished card here, and I'm going to add the Wink of Stella to the flowers, and then also to the flowers on the vellum. So beautiful. And then one more thing, I did tell my club ladies that they could add the shimmer paint. And let me tell you the mixture of my shimmer paint. So the spray bottle, it can be any size spray bottle. We also sell the spritzer bottles from Stampin' Up, but I've had this one for so many years, so I just kept it for the champagne mist, which is still available. So what I did is I filled the bottle up about 3/4 of the way with rubbing alcohol. You don't pour the whole bottle of the shimmer paint into the rubbing alcohol. You're just gonna pour like maybe a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half, depending on how much shimmer you want. I like a lot of shimmer, so just depending on how much you wanna add of your shimmer paint, just remember if you start adding less, you can always add more. So then you're just gonna go ahead and shake that up. Every time you use the shimmer paint, you have to shake it because it does settle at the very bottom of your bottle. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna spray this. I'm gonna spritz it in the air and kind of swoop it up to catch it. And it just adds even more shimmer to the card. It's so beautiful in real life. And then I'm also gonna spritz the inside, just a little bit. Can never have enough shimmer in my opinion. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put this on the inside of the card. So beautiful. I love your card, Devette. It's so gorgeous. All right, so let me show you the other ones. So here are two more with the Whisper White layer on behind the fresh fig. And then this one was Devette. So you can see the difference with the Whisper White and without. So if you like it without or with, it's totally up to you. And then here's Devette's inside of her card. So beautiful. So if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll have all the items listed below, and then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.